Hey guys, so this is fifth session of Python where we are going to learn about Pandas library. So this is most amazing and exciting topic of your of your Python where we are going to learn about cleaning cleaning of cleaning of a table, how to clean a data, how to use Pandas library, and here we are going to convert our data in a structure or table format. So let's see what we are going to cover in this session. Okay, so here we have the topics which we are going to cover today is what is library, what is pandas library, what is data frame. After that, creating data frame from dictionary, like we have learned dictionary in the last session. Now we have to convert that dictionary into a data frame. After that, creating data frame from list, reading csv file. Also we have some csv file here, we are going to work with that csv file as well. Then data subsetting, filter data based on one or more conditions. So here we are also going to solve some question like how to filter a data from your csv file. Okay, so here what is meant by library? So library is generally a collection of pre-written code, which has already developer built that code, including modules, functions, classes that allows developers to perform common tasks without writing code from scratch. Okay, so you don't have to write code from scratch. Like if you want to find the square root function, okay, square root of a number, then already we have math library. Library, simply you can say that is set of functions, means small functions developer has created, and that function they has stored inside a file, and that file is called as library. And if you want to use that file, or if you want to use that library, then you have to import that library. So to use a library in python, you need to import it into a program using the import statement. Okay, this makes the library's function and methods accessible for use. So if you are trying to import any library, so you have to use import function for that, and using that import function, all the functions and methods will be accessible for you to use. Next, now what is mean by pandas? So pandas is also a library. Okay, pandas is a python library used for working with data set. Then it has functions for analyzing, cleaning, exploring, and manipulating a data. So if you want to clean your data, if you want to manipulate your data, or if you want to convert your data in a structured format, then you can use this library. Pandas allow us to analyze big data and make conclusion based on statistical theory. So we are going to see how to use that, how we are going to work on big data, how we are going to analyze and clean the data. Now, in Pandas library, first we have this data frame. Data frame is generally used for converting your data in a structured way. Like here we are storing, till now we have stored data in a list, we have stored data in a dictionary, right? Again, we can store normal data. Suppose you want to store one data, so we have variable for that. Okay, so but if you want to convert your data in a proper structured way, in a table form, then you can use this data frame, and this data frame is present inside your pandas library. Okay, so here we have given pandas library is used to perform data frame operations. So all the operation on data frame, all the functions on data frame, if you want to perform any operations on that, so for that you have to use pandas library. Okay, so first here we have given creating data frame with dictionary. Already we have learned about dictionary. First here we are going to perform how to create data frame from dictionary, like how to convert your dictionary into a table form. You can simply say that. So here you can see we have this dictionary. In dictionary, all the data will get stored inside a curly bracket. First here we column 1 a1 comma a2 comma a3. Like here in dictionary we can use list as well. In list we can store multiple values at a time. So here we are using list inside a dictionary. Okay, so column 2 here we have given, suppose you want to give name, you have multiple employee. Okay, and employee id here you can store. After that employee name you can store. Then if you want to store multiple data like employee age, employee salary, employee email. So all the data you want to store in a dictionary. After that, you want to convert that dictionary into a table form, into a data frame. Data frame means you have to convert your data into a table. Okay, so here we are going to convert this dictionary into a data frame. After that, for converting dictionary into a data frame, here first we have to use Pandas library, and this is the method to import Pandas library. Import Pandas as PD. PD is we have renamed as Pandas. Like if you are not writing PD, so every time you have to write Pandas dot data frame, Pandas dot and other function. So that's why here we have used short name for this PD. Every time you don't have to write Pandas now, you can use PD for that. Okay, df equal to here PD dot data frame, then dictionary. So data frame is your first function here. So if you want to convert your dictionary into a data frame, so we have to use this method. After that, you can print your data frame. You will get your data in the form of table. Okay. Next, here we have checking shape and column of a data frame. Again, we have some more functions related to your data frame library. Df.shape, so it will display the number of rows and number of columns inside your data frame. After that, df.columns, it will show which columns are present inside your data frame. Okay, which columns we have used inside a data frame. So we are going to see that in practical if you don't understand this. Next, creating data frame with list. Again, we have learned about list. In list, we can store multiple variable of different data type in a single variable, right? So here you can create a list, and again you can convert that list into a data frame using this syntax. And here we are using this T. Why to use this T? T is used for transpose of matrix. Now what is mean by transpose of matrix? So maybe you have learned in 11th and 12th. Suppose you want to convert rows into a column or column into a rows, that is called as transpose of matrix. I think that is in 12th math syllabus. Okay, so simply you have to remember that T means transpose of matrix, and that is used for converting your rows into a column and column into a rows. Okay, so here, okay, let's go on practical, then we will understand what is mean by this. Okay, so here this is our session number 5. So let's give the file name first. So here you can click on this untitled. Here we are giving session 5. Okay, session 5, rename this, and this is the topic of data frame. Okay, so here we can write data frame. Comment this, control forward slash is the shortcut key for your comment. Again, convert this into a markdown and then execute this. Shift enter is shortcut key for the execution. Okay, data frame. Now first step, we have to import the Pandas library. Okay, step 1 here I can write. Step 1 में import Pandas as PD. Okay, as PD, because you don't have to use that every time, that pandas dot data frame, pandas dot shape, pandas dot column. So that's why we are renaming this, so you can use this short name PD every time. Okay, here we have imported this pandas as PD. Now next, what we can use, first we have to create a dictionary. Okay, so here I'm going to create dictionary1 equal to, again you can store your data in the dictionary inside a curly bracket. First I want to give employee ID. Again, first we have used this Pandas library. Now this will be a step 2. So here I'm writing straight. Here using plus sign, this will be step 2. Step 2, we have to create a dictionary. Okay, creating a dictionary. Okay, how to create a dictionary? So inside double quotes, first we can give employee ID colon, and here we can give 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. Okay, again in this list, if you have 5 values, so if you are trying to enter a next value, then there should also be 5 values, because if you don't have 5 values, so you will get error for counting difference. Okay, here I am giving employee name. Just wait. Colon. After that, here I am giving some employee name. Like here I am giving Alice, then Bob, then John, then Smith. Okay. Again, we have to give one more values here. Okay, here I am giving Mary. Okay, that's it. So next, again I want to give salary of that employee. Okay, salary, again you have to write that in double quotes, because that is your string type of data. If you're not writing in double quotes, then you will get error. Okay, so salary, here I'm giving 20,000, then we have 30,000, 15,000, 40,000 and 55,000. Okay, total we have 5 values here. So here you can see we have 5 values. Again here we can enter one more values, which is age. Okay, so age 24, 26, 21, 25, 27. We have total 5 values. Now execute this. So first step, you have to import your pandas library. Second step, we have to create a dictionary. Step 3. Now in step 3, we have to convert dictionary into a data frame. Okay, so convert dictionary into a data frame. Now execute this. How to convert this dictionary into a data frame? So again, if you're converting that dictionary into a data frame, so you can store inside a variable. Like here I'm taking df, that is full form data frame, you can consider. Okay, so again pd dot data frame, d should be in capital, again f should be in capital, so that should be in camel case. So data frame, and you want to convert this dictionary into a data frame, so you have to write this variable name, or you have to send this variable name inside this data frame function. Now execute this. That is executed properly means now your dictionary is converted into a data frame and stored inside this variable. Execute this df, and here you can see this is your dictionary, and that is converted into a data frame, means in the form of table. Okay, so these are the steps for converting your dictionary into a data frame. Next step, here you can use shape and columns function. Again we have that function here. So first here we have shape function. Okay, so what is mean by shape? So it will display the number of rows and columns present inside your data frame. So here I can write, it will display the number of rows and columns inside a data frame. Okay, now execute this. Okay, just execute this, and here I'm writing df dot shape. Okay, now execute this. Here you can see we have total 5 rows and 4 columns. 5 rows, here you can see we are getting this indexing 0 1 2 3 4, means total we have 5 rows, 1 2 3 4, 5 rows and 4 columns. First we have employee id, second employee name, third salary, and after that age. Okay, so this will be your converting dictionary into a data frame. Now next we have to see how to convert list into a data frame. Okay, again for that step 1, you have to import your library, but already we have imported the library, pandas library, on top of the file, so you don't have to import that again and again. One import you can use that in all the programs. Okay, but for practice here we can import that. Step 1, importing pandas library. Okay, again here for practice I'm importing this. Import pandas as pd. Execute this. Step 2 will be here. We have to create a list. So here in step 2, here we can write creating a list. Now how to create a list? So like dictionary, here we can't create a list inside one list. Okay, you have to create different list here for that. Like L1 I am taking 1 2 3 4 5 6 values we have. Again here I am taking L2 here we can store some name. So here I'm taking this name A B, after that C, then comma, after that here I'm giving D E and then F. Total 6 values should be there because here in L1 we have total 6 values. Again here I am taking L3. We should have some marks here. We can store 56, 78, 90, 55, 45 and again 37. L4 here I am taking where I can store the student age. So यहाँ पे 18, 17, 19, 21, 20 and one more value we have 22. Total 6 values. So these are the list. Now you have to convert your list into a data frame. So step 3 will be convert list into a data frame. Okay, how to convert list into a data frame? Again you can store that inside a variable. Like here in the last I have taken df, here I am taking df1. So inside this you can store your data frame. Next here we have pd dot data frame. D should be in capital, again f should be in capital. And here since we have multiple lists, so first here you have to take square bracket and inside that you have to write like this L1 L2 comma L3 then L4 because we have multiple lists. If you have only one list and you want to convert that into a data frame, then you don't have to give square bracket. Execute this. If I'm executing this, so here you can see I'm getting this data. L1 means here you can say roll number of student, then student name, student marks or student percentage, and then student age here we have. Okay, but here you can see here we don't have given index column name. Here we have indexing. Okay, so if I'm using here df1 dot shape number of rows and number of columns it will display. So here we have 4 rows and 6 columns. Okay, and df1 dot columns, again we have columns here. If you see here in the last, actually I didn't display a columns, just wait. Df dot columns if I'm doing, so what it will do, it will display the columns which is present in my data frame. So which are the columns present in my data frame? Employee ID, employee name, salary and age. These are the columns present in my data frame. But in list we don't have column name, so that's why it is giving me indexing by default will be start from 0 and go till 6. Okay, after that here we have step value, means it is increasing by 1. But suppose you want to give column name, so here you can see, suppose I want to give first roll number column then name column. So if I will give roll number column, so is it okay? Roll number column we are getting 1, after that here we are getting A, then 56, then 18. Is it proper to give column name as roll number for this? No, it is not proper because here data is in horizontal format. Okay, so now here you have to convert row into a column. So I have told you about T, that is transpose of matrix. So when you are converting your list into a data frame, so there you have to use T, which is transpose of matrix. That means you have to convert your rows into a column. Okay, so just use here T, that is the use of T. So if I'm using this T, just wait, T transpose of matrix, transpose of matrix used to convert rows into a column. execute this. Okay, now I have executed this. Now this will convert row into a column, means now you will get this 1 2 3 4 5 vertically. Okay, now execute this df1, and here you can see I'm getting. Now I have 6 rows and 4 columns. Again execute this, we are getting 6 rows and 4 columns. But now I want to give columns. I want to give these a column name like roll number, name, then percentage, and then age. How to give column name? So next step will be here step number 4. Step number 4 में here what we have to do, give provide columns to data frame. How to provide a columns? So here we have to use df1 dot columns equal to, just give here square bracket. Okay, after that first here we should have roll number, so inside double quotes here you can give roll number. After that here name we should have, then percent, and then age. Okay, so here you can give age. Now execute this. Now if we see our df1 data frame, so here you can see we are getting column name as roll number, name, percentage, and age. Okay, so I hope you understand. Let's go to the next topic where we are going to use csv file. Now what is mean by csv file? CSV file actually that is called as comma separated value file. The full form of CSV means comma separated value file. This is the file generally, suppose we have some data inside a Excel. So Excel data we can store in the form of CSV file. You can download CSV file from online portal, like we have from Google. You can download your csv file. Currently I have one csv file which is startup csv file. We are going to use that. Okay, so here we have to load csv file. Now load csv file means already the data is stored in a table format inside our system. Okay, that is called as csv file inside our system. Means suppose you are creating one table or your data is getting stored inside a sql, that will be in sql format, right? And if you have some other files, like we have different formats of file, .sql, .db, right? Again, so suppose if you have your excel data, so you can store your excel data in the form of csv file, that is called as comma separated value file. Again we have one more dot extension of excel file which is xls, like excel workbook you can say. So here we are going to use csv file now, which is already present in my system. Okay, so here again for reading csv file as a data frame, we have to import pandas. Next step, this is the function for reading csv file, like read underscore csv and path with forward slashes. Okay, so here we have to provide the path inside this function. How to provide this path, we are going to see that. Okay, so let's go to the practical first. So here next we have to perform reading csv file as a data frame. Reading csv file as a data frame. Okay, how to read a csv file? So here you can see this is my csv file. If startup csv file, I'm going to load this csv file. This is my csv file, and here I have stored a lot of data. Like here a lot of data is present. Here you can go in the end, total 50 rows or 51 rows of data we have. Okay, now we have to load this csv file to my python. Okay, how to load that? Again import pandas as pd. Already we have imported our pandas library. So here step 1 will be, you have to import your pandas library. Okay, import library. So again import pandas as pd. Execute this. Step 2 will be, now we have to read a csv file. Okay, step 2, read a csv file. csv file that is called as comma separated value files. comma separated value files. Okay, how to read that CSV file, and that is your startups data. So here I am writing st data frame means stdf. You can write anything, you can use short form. Again pd dot, this will be a function for reading CSV file, read underscore CSV. Now here we have to provide a path, and you have to write your path inside the double quotes. Okay, how to use that path? So go inside your folder, and here you can right click, you can copy from here. Again you have one more step, right click here, right click, after that show more option. Here you have to go inside this property, and here we have given this location. You can copy this location. Okay, copy this location, and here you have to paste inside double quotes. Okay, now here we can't use this backslash, because backslash is generally used for termination point, like backslash n. We have learned about backslash n for going to the next line, backslash t for going to the new tab. So here we can't use backslash because that is your termination point, which is used for end of your line. So convert all the backslashes with forward slash, like you have to replace all the backslashes with forward slash. And in the end here you have to write your CSV file name. Which CSV file name you have to write? Here we have given this startup CSV file. Otherwise you can go inside this, and here you can see startups file name we have. And since this is a CSV file, so there you have to write extension as well dot CSV. Okay, so again if you go to this, right click and show more option, go to this property. So here you can see the file is .csv extension. So there also you have to give .csv, where here you have to give startups.csv. Okay, now execute this. Now your CSV file will be loaded here. If you see here st, you can see all the data from your CSV file is loaded here. Okay, again you can check your shape and columns here as well. So first here we have shape, like st dot shape I'm writing. So what it will give, it will give the output number of rows and number of columns. Execute this. Total 50 rows we have, since it is starting from 0, that's why here you are getting in the end as 49, but total we have 50 rows and 5 columns. Okay, which columns we have inside a CSV file? So st dot columns, here you can write. Execute this. We have R&D, which is research and development, admin column, marketing column, state, then profit column. Here we have D type equal to object. So data type, here we have object because this is your object type of data. Here inside Python, the string type of data, inside data frame, the string type of data is called as object type of data type. That's why here D type is object written. Okay. Next, now we have to learn about data subsetting. So here we have given data subsetting. What is mean by data subsetting? Actually, we have learned about list slicing. What is mean by list slicing? Removing a small part from a list. Data subsetting is same as list slicing. Like if you want to remove some part from your CSV file, from your data frame, then you can use data subsetting. Generally, we have two types of data subsetting. First, we have ILOC, which is index location, where you have to give some indexing. And then we have LOC, which is only location. Suppose you want to give exact location, then you have to use this LOC. Okay. So difference in ILOC and LOC. ILOC uses internal indexing. LOC uses actual index name. So here we can give column name, which column you want to actually display. So let's see that in practical, how to use that data subset. Okay, so let's write here data subsetting. Data subsetting. First here we are going to see the syntax of data subsetting, and first we have to see about ILOC. Okay, ILOC, and here we have to see the syntax for ILOC. What will be the syntax for that? So here we can write like this: st.iloc. After that, here you can give square bracket. First here you have to give start row index. Okay, start row index. After that, colon, end row index. So end row index, then comma, start column index. So here we have to give start column index colon, and here we have to give end column index. Okay, so this will be the syntax. Now how to give that in practically? Execute this. Now here I am writing st.iloc. Here you have to give index location means simply you have to give range like 1 to 10, 10 to 15 data. In row we have total 50 rows. So suppose I want to display total 10 to 20 rows. Okay, so 10 column 21, here you have to give again because here last value will not be counted, comma, column index, again total we have 5 columns, so 0 to 3, 2 to 4, 3 to 5, whichever you want to display you have to give that, like 1 to 3 I want to display. Okay, execute this. So it will display row from 10 index to 20 index, and will display columns from 1 index till 2 index, because last value will not be counted, last column will not be counted. So here you can see we are getting only 2 columns, which is 1 index column and 2 index column, 1 and 2. Here you can see, here first on 0 index we have R&D, then 1 and 2. Last column will not be counted. So this will be your ILOC. Again, if you are not giving a start and end value, so by default it will start from 0. Okay. Again, let's not give here indexing actually. So here I'm using st.iloc of, and here I want to display from data 20 till 31, comma, and here I'm not giving start value and end value. What is mean by that? That it by default it will start from 0 and go till the end. So execute this. Here we are getting all the columns because here we didn't give in start value and end value. So by default start value will be 0 and end value will be 4. Okay, and here from 20 to 30 data will be displayed because here we have given last value as 31. Next, here we have LOC. In LOC, here you can give exact specific value of column, not row. Inside a row you have to give range like 20 to 30, 30 to 50, 40 to 60. Okay, but you can display a specific column. Okay, suppose you don't want to give range 0 to 5, 0 to 3. I don't want this range, I want a specific value. I want to display this R&D and profit only. So for skipping these between values you can use LOC. Now suppose I want this admin and profit data. So how to use that LOC? Let's see the syntax first. What is the syntax for that? So here we have to give st.loc. Again, start row index will be same. Start row index, then column end row index. After that you have to give comma, and again you have to take one more square bracket, and inside this you have to write your column name, like first column you want to display, and again second column whichever you want to display, you can write the name of your column whichever you want to display. Now execute this. Here I am taking st.loc, and again we have one more benefit here inside this LOC, that here last value will be counted. That is not in the form of n plus 1. So if here I am giving 10 colon 20, so it will display the data from 10 till 20. So that is benefit of LOC. Comma, I want to display only 2 columns, which is first here I am giving admin, and next here I am giving profit. Admin is on index number 1 and profit is on index number 4, which is last column, but still you can display, you can specify here specific column whichever you want to display. Execute this. So here you can see we are getting 2 columns, again the data from 10 till 20. Okay, so this will be the ILOC. Using that, you can remove a small part from your data frame. Again, if you're not giving start value and end value, so by default it will start by 0. Only I'm giving end value. Suppose st.loc. Here I'm not giving start value, but I'm giving end value here, comma, and specific column name here you can give. Column 1 here I want to give state, and column 2 here I want to give profit. Okay, now execute this. Here you can see I'm getting this data. By default it will start from 0 and go till 10, because here last value will not be skipped, last value will also be counted here. And here we are getting two columns, state and profit. Now let's go to the next topic. Next topic, here we will have data filtering operation. Okay, so here when we have to filter a data from a data frame, so here we have to use this is the method, or this is the syntax you can consider for giving the condition. We have already learned about and operator and or operator in logical operator, right? We have logical and, logical or. Logical and is used for providing the multiple condition. And in logical and, how it will work, when all the condition are true, then only logical and will be true. If only one condition is false, then answer will be false. And for logical or, only one answer should be true. If all the condition are false, then only if one answer is true, then answer will be true. That will be your logical or. So if you want to perform the data filtering, so here we have to use this syntax. Like if you want to perform the, if you want to use the condition, so first here you have to give your data frame name, then inside that square bracket. Again, after giving square bracket, inside that you have to write the condition using, again using that column, using targeting that column, you can see. Okay, so here we have given one question, so let's solve that question first. And one questions for you, for your assignments which you have to solve. And if you not able to solve that, then I will explain that in the next session. Okay, so let's solve the first question here. Find out the those companies who have profit more than 1.5 lakh and are from Florida state. Okay, so let's write that in practical. So here we have this question. We have to find those companies or those data whose profit is more than 1.5 lakh, and those are from Florida state. Now how to give condition here? So first here we data frame name is st. Okay, st, and again you have to give one square bracket, and inside this now you have to perform the condition. Like first total we have two conditions, so here you can give parenthesis, and both the conditions should be true. So here we have to use and here you can't write a and d, because inside a data frame you have to use ampersand symbol for and. Okay, and again here we will have second condition. So first condition here I'm writing st of here profit. Okay, st of profit, that should be greater than 1.5 lakh, means 1,50,000. Okay, second condition is state should be from Florida. So again st of, here I'm giving state. Okay, state, and that should be equal to, we have to compare, that's why I'm using double equal to. If you want to assign the values, then we have one equal to. Okay, here we are comparing that state should be equal to Florida. If that and comparison operator generally return answer in the form of boolean, like true or false. So that's why here you have to compare the values. Florida, and spelling mistake should not be there. Now execute this. There we have only three data where profit is greater than 1.5 lakh, and those are from Florida state only. Okay, so we have total three data, which is index number 2, then index number 7, and sorry, index number 4, and then we have index number 7. Okay, next question is for you here. So this is your next question. You can note this question and try to solve this. Okay, then thank you. That's it for today.